I was 24 years old when I met the woman who would become my wife. Her name was Lily, and she was 20 at the time. She was a tall, blonde beauty with a stunning figure. But beyond that, I could tell she was a mature and confident woman. We dated for about 3 months before Lily told me she was pregnant. Wanting to do the right thing, I proposed to her without hesitation. Since I had never met her parents, I decided to pay them a visit one evening, bringing along a bottle of fine cognac and a box of chocolates as a gesture of goodwill. Lily had already informed her parents about my visit, so they were prepared for the occasion. Her father, Patrick, was a truck driver, a stocky man with a small belly, while her mother, Abigail, worked as an accountant. Unlike the slim, modern women I was used to seeing, Abigail had a fuller figure, short blonde hair, and an air of confidence. Lily was almost a mirror image of her mother, though Abigail's curves were more pronounced. Patrick was 48, while Abigail was 5 years younger. From the very beginning, I found myself liking Lily's parents, especially her mother. Patrick was a man of few words, leaving Abigail to take charge of the evening. She turned out to be a gracious hostess, preparing a meal that was nothing short of spectacular. As we sat at the table, I raised a toast to my future in-laws and, in particular, to the wonderful hostess who had put together such a lavish feast. Abigail blushed slightly, though it was clear she enjoyed the compliment. The evening unfolded pleasantly, and by the time I returned home, I was eager to know what impression I had left. I called Lily, and she reassured me that her parents had liked me, especially her mother. Such a handsome and well-mannered young man. Lily quoted her mother word for word. I couldn't help but feel pleased. In the weeks leading up to the wedding, everything was a whirlwind. We picked out a dress, a suit, shoes, and made all the necessary arrangements for the reception. Abigail, who had impeccable taste, was deeply involved in the process. She helped Lily choose her wedding gown and assisted me with my suit. Thanks to her input, both the bride and groom looked flawless. Then came the big day. The ceremony was emotional, mothers shedding tears, fathers offering words of wisdom. By 7 p.m., the reception at the restaurant was in full swing. Everyone looked their best, but Abigail stood out the most. She wore a stylish evening dress with delicate straps and a stunning neckline. It was impossible not to notice her. The other men in the room certainly did, and despite myself, I found my gaze lingering on her as well. She looked breathtaking. The celebration was lively, filled with laughter, music, and dancing. During one of the slow dances, fate paired me with my mother-in-law, while Lily danced with my father. As I held Abigail close, I was struck by her intoxicating scent. The warmth of her body, so near to mine, stirred something in me, and before I knew it, my body betrayed me. She noticed, with a knowing smile. She leaned in slightly and whispered, suggesting we step outside for some fresh air. Once outside, she broke the silence. "Lily is lucky to have such a charming and easygoing husband," she said smoothly. Then, with a teasing smile, she added, "But if you ever decide to cheat on her, just make sure she never finds out." The comment caught me off guard. "What are you talking about?" "I would never," I began, but she simply smirked. "Every man says that," she replied, "but their bodies often tell a different story." Her gaze briefly dropped in the direction of my lingering embarrassment before meeting my eyes again. "You reacted just now because it's natural. There's no shame in it. Just be discreet and never hurt Lily." Her words lingered in my mind long after the conversation ended. Abigail was refreshingly open, speaking about matters most people tiptoed around. It made me wonder about the dynamics of her own marriage. Did Patrick cheat on her? If so, did she know? And if she did she even care? I found myself wanting to know the answers. The wedding ended on a high note, and soon after, I moved in with Lily's parents. They lived in a modest 2-bedroom apartment, and with the baby on the way, preparations for our child's arrival became the focus of our daily lives. As for intimacy with Lily, it became nearly non-existent due to her pregnancy. Life had become a whirlwind of responsibilities. I worked long hours, leaving early in the morning and returning late at night. The exhaustion was constant, but I knew I had to keep pushing forward. With Lily's pregnancy progressing, She had been admitted to the hospital for medical care, and I found myself juggling work and family life alongside her parents, Patrick and Abigail. One morning, Patrick had left for a trip, leaving just Abigail and me at home. I woke up as usual, still adjusting to the new routine. As I made my way to the bathroom, I passed by Lily's parents' bedroom, feeling a bit embarrassed about my disheveled state. After freshening up, I decided to take a warm shower to relax. As I stepped out of the bathroom, I unexpectedly ran into Abigail. She smiled warmly, noticing my flustered expression. "No need to be so shy," she said kindly. "It's normal to feel a little out of place with all these changes happening." Her words reassured me, easing some of the tension I had been carrying. After getting ready, Abigail invited me to breakfast. I walked into the kitchen, still feeling a bit awkward, but she effortlessly lightened the mood. "Don't worry so much," she said with a knowing smile. "We're family now." Her calm and understanding nature made me feel welcome in their home. After breakfast, Abigail got ready for work while I finished cleaning up. As I passed by her room on the way to mine, I saw her adjusting her outfit in the mirror, a professional yet elegant look with a fitted skirt and blouse. It reminded me of how much effort she put into everything, from her family to her career. Later that evening, we visited Lily at the hospital together. The commute back home was challenging due to rush hour, and the crowded bus left little room to move. Pressed against strangers, we barely had space to breathe, but Abigail remained composed, handling the discomfort with ease. Once home, we settled in for dinner and later watched a movie. The film sparked a deep conversation about relationships, marriage, and the challenges that come with them. Abigail had a modern, open-minded perspective, which made her easy to talk to. "It must be difficult for you with Lily in the hospital," she said thoughtfully. "It is," I admitted, "but I want to be strong for her." She nodded. "That's what matters most, being there for people you love, even when things get tough." Her words resonated with me. It was a reminder that marriage wasn't just about romance. It was about patience, commitment, and resilience. That night, I reflected on everything happening in my life. The stress, the changes, and the uncertainty had weighed on me, but moments like these reminded me that I wasn't alone. Since then, I began seeing things differently. My bond with Lily grew stronger, and I appreciated the support of her family more than ever. It wasn't just about adapting to marriage. It was about growing into the best version of myself.